Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Pool Opening 2024, Part 4. Will it work? Probably not. Everything's broken, everything's worn out, everything's gonna leak. It's terrible and nothing is gonna work. Never. There's no chance. I got a good, strong feeling about this. Pool is not in the greenest condition I've ever seen it. Plugs and the jets and all that went very well. Part 3, hooking this stuff up, wasn't too horrible. The weather is cooperating. There's a lot riding on this, but I think we got a good plan. So we got to twiddle controls and get all kinds of crazy stuff happening first. Before that, then we got to fill up the basket, and then we'll test it. So let's jump right in. No, all right, yeah, you're going to do that later when you get the pool up and running. We're going to do this now. Okay, these are all wrong. The skimmers, I need closed. That's the east skimmer, the west skimmer, and the main drain. The main drain is like a center thing I have in the pool. Everybody's pool is different, so if you don't have that, I can only show you what I have. Because I can't show, unless I was there to show you, I can only show you this. So we need to close off the east skimmer. We need to close off the west skimmer, and we need to open the main drain. Before I do that, I want to just take the lid off the pump here. Doesn't matter really either way, but I want to hear it if it happens. If I'm going to hear air when I crack this open. Yes. Excellent. That means that it was winterized properly and everything there is good. Okay, so now we're going to turn you up here, and really it's kind of simple at this point. We only got one more thing to turn. Depending, I have a solar heater. That's this thing. That's an automatic control, and we're not up to that. That'll be in the next part if this even works. It's not gonna. And the other thing we have to do is turn the multi-port valve somewhere. We have to tell it where we want the water to go. Well, right now, if you recall from earlier parts of the series, the water is way too low in the pool, so we can't use the skimmers. And as far as the greenedness and that, don't want to filter it yet. We want to get some chlorine in there to kind of help it clear up a bit. So we want to recirculate this water. So we're going to go over to our dial here and go over here to the recirculate position. Now, I told you in an earlier part of the series that I'm going to tell you a whole bunch of stuff in these parts as we go along. I have had so many people tell me various things over the years about how to turn this handle. Now, the way it works is spring-loaded. Okay, like that, where you push down and then you can turn it, but you can turn it that way or that way. There are people out there that say, only turn that clockwise. And there's other people out there that are going to say, no, only counterclockwise, never any other direction. Clockwise will screw it up. You'll mess up the spider gasket. That is a real part in there, but they're still full of crap. Because I've had this part, I replaced that, and it makes absolutely no difference which way you turn it. You want to turn it clockwise, you can turn it clockwise. You want to go counterclockwise, you can go counterclockwise. Here's the thing. This is like the pointer, so to speak, of what it's set to. So it's right there, and recirculate is right there. So my choices are go clockwise, 1.5 stops to there, or go counterclockwise all the way around to go to the same place. Which way do you want to take? Just put it where it needs to go. And that's it. We're in recirculate. Okay, everything else is kind of good. The pump needs water for it to work. I happen to have water. I have it on tap, actually. So get the hose in here. right there. Now we have everything ready. So let's get everything in position. Let me see if I could take you in here a bit, just so you could see what's going on. There. We're going to put water in the basket. And it's going to start filling stuff up. As it does, because we have this main drain line open, the hopes and dreams here are that it's going to kind of flow down in there and make its way and kind of meet the rest of the water that might be in that line well underground somewhere. Is that going to work? I don't know. I had this idea, and quite frankly, I'm too afraid to try it. They sell these drain blasters. You can find them online in certain stores. It's basically a rubber bladder about this long, and it screws on the end of a garden hose. And the idea is you put it in a drain that's blocked, and when you do that and turn the water on, that bladder is going to expand and kind of block off the pipe, and the force of the water will force everything out like that. So the idea, or the premise, was great. Stick that guy in here and blast it and just keep letting the water run and get water forced in that pipe all the way back to the pool. And in fact, you might even see bubbles in the pool that way. And that way, when the bubbling stops, it's all water. And then when you turn this thing on, it's pretty much primed up, ready to go. It catches prime right away and it goes. But I'm too afraid because they're made too frail. The bladder can explode, and if it does, it'll send shrapnel into the pipe, and then it's going to be a lot worse. So I decided to just do it the old-fashioned way. If you want to try that, let me know how it works out for you. If the thing blows up in there and breaks, sorry. That's why I'm not doing it. This is an old, it still works. That's why it's here. So we're putting water in. Now we're going to keep that water going. And now it's getting up to the top part here, and it's flowing through this pipe. We're getting bubbles and bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. I'm going to stop there for a minute. The basket is floated up. That's okay. See how it kind of went down? Let's hit her some more. I'm not worried about the little flotsam and jetsam that's in there. See how I'm adding water and it's not overflowing? Now it's going up. Let it calm down. See how it's going down? That water is going somewhere, and it's not going here. It's not leaking out here, so that's going in the pipes. And that is increasing our chances of this actually working. So if you take your time with this, hopefully it's going to work the first time. Okay, there's that. All right, now it doesn't really seem to be wanting to go down anymore. That means that's about as much as it's going to take. Okay, that means this is it. Get that out of the way. Put that. That's fine there. I'm not worried about that. Let's get the cover. And this is the moment of truth, folks. We are getting down to the wire. That's not going to stay down. That's fine. Put this in. Kind of mush everything around. There we go. And now, with our gasket in place and everything seated, we flip these guys up. Now, you got to tighten those down. Now, they look like these nice, yeah, you know, come on, wrench these down. Do not wrench these things down, because then you're going to look in the video description and find a link to another video I have showing how to replace those things after you break them. The threads are plastic. So what you do is use 2 fingers, and only 2 fingers. Okay, switch to the other one, because that's loose now. Tighten that down. Back here, work our way. Now use the tips of your fingers only. Okay? And that's it. That's about all you want to go. Because if you go any farther, you're going to crack it. It's plastic. Then you got to buy new ones. And in the meantime, it's not going to work. So your pool will be down. Not a good thing. All right, this is it. Let me get you in here as good as I can. I want to get the camera ready for when we ultimately have blast off, and we're ready to go. We'll get the hose out of here too. Okay, this is it. The moment of truth. Close up as full of water as I can get it, and we're going to start watching there. Now, here's what's going to happen. We're going to turn it on. It's going to turn on, and it's pretty much almost immediately going to drain that entire basket of water. And then we're going to sit there, and nothing's going to seem to happen. And you're like, okay, the pool is broken. This is going to cost a fortune. I got to call the pool guy in. You got to be patient. This can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 3 minutes. Rumor has it, Dick Clark's pool, when he was alive, took 2 minutes and 45 seconds. I read that somewhere. It's probably made up. After this basket drains of water, you're going to want to watch over here, right over here. And it's hard to tell, it's hard to see, but hopefully we're going to get a little trickle of water going in there. You don't want to run the pump dry. You run it dry, you're going to burn it out, and it pulls over. So you need water going in there. The good news is, when you get even a trickle of water going in there, that means there's a trickle of water going out. What happens is it kind of builds upon itself. So you get a little more water, a little more water out. A little more in, more out. More in, more out. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So here we go for 2024. Is it primed up enough? And will it run? I'll give you a play-by-play as usual. Here we go. Good, that's exactly what we expected. It is drained out the basket. I'm seeing water kind of like a lake, ripples in a lake. Now, you hear that zoop, zoop, zoop? That's a good thing, because that means that we're on the way, and I'm hearing water. I am seeing just a little trickle of water going in there. But not much beyond that. Now, it's okay if you got to stop down and refill the basket. We may need to, I don't know yet. You got a little time here. I'm liking all those weep, whoop, 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 whoop sounds, which means that something's happening. And again, I'm seeing a little bit. But we still really don't have that much action. So it's kind of getting to the point where, as good as it looked before, we might need to stop down and add more water. Why it's doing that this year, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're just going to play it safe. And we're going to open this guy back up and refill with water and close it up, because it was just taking a little too long for my liking, and I wasn't seeing that much water moving. Of course, now that I got the hose all out of the way, I need it. That's just how it goes, folks. Okay. Put some more water in. You also want to make sure that the seal around this cover, which is right here that I'm pointing to, is good. Because if it's broken or bad, it's not going to seal, it's not going to work. This one's in fine shape. See how much this is filling? That's generally a good thing. Some years it'll hit the first time, other years I got to stop down and redo it again. And again, I'm just too scared to get that little bladder thing. I'll put the hose in there. Now again, look, it's not overflowing. So that water is going somewhere. And that somewhere is down that pipe. The more that goes down there, the better it's going to be. You'd be very surprised at how much water a pipe itself can hold. It's a lot. Okay, I'm going to call it there. We'll see if that'll be enough. So now we're going to put the cover back and try it again. Just clean that crap out of there in case everything is seated and good. Now it should be. Alright, that's good there, yeah. Okay. Like I said, these don't have to be super tight. Okay. 2 fingers, good. So we kind of just undid what we did. That's great. Again, we got the whip, 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 whoops. So that's kind of a good thing. All right, little different sound. I like that. I'm not sure I like that sound. It's getting louder. Maybe I should have gotten that bladder thing. No, I'm seeing some water moving. There's ripples. Here we go, folks. She's picking up, little by little. She's moving. A little more in, a little more out. As long as we got that going, you're safe. You're not going to burn it out, even with this little amount of water, which before I wasn't really seeing. Now, it may just peter out here, and then we got to do it again. But it seems to be moving. Well, okay, we're picking up. We're picking up. We're getting a little more in, a little more out. As long as you got in and out, you're good. Here we go, folks. She's picking up. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very close now. Here she goes, folks. Here we go. Come on, a little more. We're almost there. Send her. The problem is getting air out of the line, and then that screws up the whole thing. There's a lot of air in the line, which is actually good. That means they kind of, you know, blew it out good. But we keep getting water in and water out. Water in, water out. Come on. Come on. Oh, we're getting close. Sounds are changing. Here we go. She's picking up. Come on, almost there. You got it, come on. A little more. Yes. A little more, go ahead, go, go. Yes. Yes, we got her. Let's run to the pool. Let's see how we did, folks. Will water come out the other end? Oh, it's already going. Check it out. Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, we've crossed the streams. Excellent. Very nice. We're waiting for water to come out over here. There we go. Excellent deal. This guy isn't straight. That's okay. This is going good. That could be turned a little more that way too. This guy's chooching. We're still waiting over there. It had a glug. Come on. It takes a while. There he goes. See? Excellent. Oh. Woo! Had me worried there. Had me worried there this time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Excellent. All right, let's go back. Let's see what's leaking. Probably everything. Is everything leaking? Oh, boy. Woo, that's exciting. Oh, we got leaks, folks. We got leaks. From here, so that I'm going to have to tighten up a little. The pump is seeping, it always does, but everything else is good. So I need to tighten this just a little bit. Oh boy, maybe not. We're leaking good. Okay, that's not great. Can't leave it like that. So let me stop down and see if I can fix that. I hope and pray that was just loose. Turn it back on. It should pick up pretty much right away. We gotta let her get pressure in her. Okay, it's leaking out the top. That's fine. Some of these leaks seal themselves up. That is not sealing itself up. And I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I'm not really concerned yet. But this leak seems to have been solved. So that's good. Still leaking from the top. Before we do that, oh, did I see a drip somewhere else? I'm getting this, you know, just a little more. I'll try that. Hey! Still dripping, but... Is that it? Yeah. The one up top here kind of sealed itself up. Not worried about that. We're actually going to get back to the chlorinator in part 6, which is coming up pretty soon. But that's it. Finally, a successful launch. That was troublesome this year, huh? But we got her. I don't know why it took a second round, but it did this year for whatever reason. Now she's going. We do have bubbles and whatever in the pump there. Those are not clearing. And that's because we don't have enough water getting in that basket to go out because of a repair that needed to be done with this connection years ago. So it doesn't quite have enough diameter, just a shade below. I think the chlorinator's leaking again. But I want to take the top off of that. It's a minor leak now, so it's not a big deal. We'll work on that in time. But the bubbles here are not going to go away until we get to open up the skimmers, and that's going to be much later when we get some water in there. So that is probably the next priority. Start getting some water in that pool because she's empty. That's going to wrap this one up. Wow, a little bit of a shaky start, but we got her. Everything's up and running, thank goodness. So that's going to wrap this one up. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. In part 5, we're going to test all the ancillary stuff, see if any of that works.